We are continuing our Super Tuesday coverage now, and for some additional perspective on today's voting and its importance, we're going to turn to our political analyst, Dr. Ed Lynch. And Ed will be here throughout the evening. Of course, we don't have any results back in. As the results start to come in, the analysis changes a little bit. But based upon what we do know now and kind of to set the stage, do you think that Southwest Virginia once again is going to be critical when we look at the state as a whole and we look at the nation as a whole?
Well, it very well could be. Traditionally, when Southwest Virginia has played the largest role, it has been when Northern Virginia and then the Tidewater area have sort of balanced one another out.
Right. A
lot of more liberal voting, a lot of more Democratic voting in Northern Virginia, a lot of veterans and active duty military, more Republican voting in the Tidewater area, and Southwest Virginia is kind of the swing area in a swing state. So it could very well work out again that way.
Well, in the last presidential election, of course, the presidential candidate certainly thought that carrying Southwest Virginia was a big deal. So now in Virginia, what do you see happening here as we go forward? What can we learn from what we see from the vote that happens here in Virginia and nationally as we go forward through the results tonight?
Okay, I think the most important thing that will be an indicator tonight is turnout. And there are a couple of ways that will be important. First of all, the larger the turnout on the Republican side, the more likely there are going to be victories for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is attracting a lot of new voters, particularly new voters to the Republican side, since he is, to put it mildly, not a traditional Republican. So that's one thing to look at. And then also, the difference in turnout between the total Republican turnout and the total Democratic turnout. Paul Begaglia, a close advisor to President Clinton, was quoted yesterday as saying the intensity gap is what keeps me awake at night. He's referring to the fact that Republicans seem to be much more intense about their candidates than the Democrats are, and so that's something else to look for. Overall in Virginia, did more Republicans vote? Did more Democrats vote? By what margin? That's going to be something that I think the analysts are going to be talking about a lot tonight through all of the primary states.
Okay, we've got about 15 or 20 seconds left for this portion of our discussion, which will continue throughout the evening. But a low turnout today on the Republican side favors Rubio, Cruz, Trump, Kasich.
Low turnout would probably favor Marco Rubio.
Really?
Higher, because he is the one that has most of the traditional, longer-term Republican support behind him at this point. Slightly larger turnout, it's probably Cruz. Larger turnout than that, probably Trump.
Okay, and we don't really know where that's going yet. It's kind of early in the day still. So.
It is, although the indications are the turnout will be moderate to high.
Okay, and Trump has been leading the polls, so that would suggest maybe the pollsters might have this one right in Virginia.
They might.
We'll find out tonight after 7 o'clock.